Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to Anime Yay or Nay, where we're watching Ergo Proxy. And not only did we watch Ergo Proxy, we watched the final episode of Ergo Proxy. What? I'm the Outback Al.
I'm hot for justice.
I'm Chibi Noob.
What's everybody's thoughts on the last two episodes that we did?
Do we want to go in order?
I mean, we might as well. There's only two of them, so, might as well.
Okay.
Who wants to start? We started with Vincent getting shot, and I think I brought up last time something about, like, why doesn't he just rip his arm off?
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what he did.
Literally just did
He
that.
just grew it. He pulled a Piccolo and just grew it back right away.
Yep.
Well,
That was kind of
that's-
awesome.
I mean, the Amarita cells kind of are like regenerative cells anyway, so
Yeah, he's not having any problems.
no.
Past that, what happened? Raoul was having a time of it, running around doing his thing. Riel was having a time of it, running around doing her stuff. Everyone was having a time of it this time around because it's the climax of the series, and everyone's just like,
Yeah.
it's Revelations time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pinot's like running around, like trying to find her dad. I'm like,
Yeah, sad. It's very sad.
And then, like, he sees her drawings, and he goes around looking for her.
While
and then
he's
he
bleeding out, that amount of blood, he should have been
I
dead a
know.
while ago.
I know. And then he gets knocked over and falls and gets impaled by a piece of glass, and I'm just like, as much as I didn't like you.
He was so
no.
close too. She was like right around the corner.
I know. I was so sad.
It's
Yeah, me
okay.
But then, that doesn't come until the next episode, so I'll save that for.
Well, let's just go instead of just going by episode. Let's just go through what happened to people and what their
Okay.
final bits of the stories
Okay.
were.
Well,
So
Christiva.
we got Raoul.
Yeah.
Ascot's dead.
He kicked the bucket.
Oh yeah.
Christiva went to go looking for Pino, and she's like, and this was after Creed kicked the bucket. She's like,
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah.
his last order or last will and testament, I am to protect you. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Pino lived, so we don't have to drop a series. That's nice.
right?
It makes me happy.
Yeah.
What else? Grandpa's dead, so we don't have to worry about him.
He died.
Should we keep Vince
Last
and
time?
Riel for last, or
I think so, because their
yeah? All right,
storylines are kind of like,
they're the main ones. Well,
Yeah.
we'll finish up all the side stuff first. We should talk about. They did call her Real, didn't they?
yeah.
The other one, and I was
Yeah.
right. She was a monad.
Which
Yeah.
makes Riel a monad.
Yeah,
As
just
well.
not as powerful.
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess it
they
was like-
said that this one was a perfect clone,
Yeah.
and Riel wasn't.
Yeah, so they were like trying to
So-
develop. They were trying to reverse engineer how the proxies were made by whoever made the proxies first, and they finally figured it out and made an angel who died.
Yeah,
Essentially, just
well,
died.
I kind of like how with like the whole Daedalus storyline sort of thing.
Oh,
and
boy.
For those two episodes, I'm like, you're literally pulling like an Icarus. Don't fly too close to the sun, or your wings are gonna melt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did. They did very, very spectacularly. Did they? And
Yeah,
he died too.
I know.
So many people are like, there's like at least another one or two other people in this series who like look up to see a proxy like flying around, and then they get crushed by something.
Yee.
I just thought it was like very weird how Daedalus was like. I mean, of course we knew this all along that he was like in love with Riel, but then he was like being super weird about it and like jealous and everything.
Well, I think
He's
it was
been super
because
weird since the beginning. That's why I call him Dr. Creep.
Yeah. Well, I think for him, it was more or less like he was being really weird with this second Riel because she basically had been sort of. She's still very innocent in all respects of the like word. So she's like a more perfect version of Riel that he was like, no, don't leave me. he's like, you're what I've been working to this whole time, which now, looking back on it, him, like, stroking the monad proxy thing in the tube makes a lot more sense in this context.
Yeah, it's still super creepy. I don't know if that makes him less creepy or more creepy. Or is it just an equal level of creepy?
It's an equal level of creepy, but
Yeah.
it just makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It's still creepy.
Who else had a thing? We've talked about Pino, we talked about Christiva, Raoul, Daedalus. I guess we should get to the main two.
Yeah.
When we start with Riel, because I liked a bit with her, because she's like confronting all of her stuff and everything that's going on with her. She met herself, didn't really seem that taken aback by meeting herself, though. I mean, with the journey that they've been on, I feel like, yeah, that's not the weirdest thing she's seen. So that's something. But yeah, she kind of found out that she is, I guess, a clone of Monad, and that might be why Vincent is so drawn to her, and why she's drawn to Vincent, because they're it's copies or proxies that were in love or whatever, and all that good stuff. I do like, because there was like there's been themes of like religion, nihilism, and a bunch of other things in this show, and I like it at the end, whenever they're being faced with like some rather difficult circumstances about getting out and like living and doing all this stuff, because they're facing extinction basically, and they're kind of talking about like, well, we don't have a purpose anymore. What's our purpose? Well, I don't know. And Riel's just kind of like, it doesn't matter that I don't have a purpose. I know what's right and what I want to do. And like, I think that kind of goes to what Nietzsche said about the Übermensch and the Superman, kind of like, you know, you go beyond the fact that it is meaningless and you find your own meaning. And I feel like that's like what a lot of characters throughout the series have been striving to do, and either failing or not achieving it. I don't know, you know, those are kind of the same thing, but like, I don't know. Like, it's like they either die trying to get it, or they succumb to despair and just give up. So, and Riel has achieved becoming the Superman, or Superwoman. Probably be a better way to put it. So I was really happy for her in regard to that. Because honestly, she wasn't one of the people who was like constantly going like, oh, what is my purpose? But there were once or twice where she was kind of like, I don't know what my reason is. What's my raison d'etre? Because that's a whole big thing, and all that. So that was good. I like that for her. I like that. I think that was like a great spot for her to end at. Yeah. And she was like, I'd like. Can we point out, Pino is the savior of Riel?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god, you're pulling a Cloud City over. Yeah, she's essentially hanging over hell. And she's like, it's like you take your fate into your own hands, and I guess have faith in others, and you don't need to worry about whatever else, because Pino will come out of the smoke and fire and just be like, hey, take my hand, and
So precious.
Yes, yeah. That was probably one of my favorite shots. It's just, and she put back on the little rabbit suit for it. It's like, this is my hero costume. Pino's the best character. We all know Pino's the best character in this entire show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like, there's not even debate at this point.
No.
But yeah. Anyone else got other things to say in regard to Riel, or should we move on to the big guy?
I can't really think of like a lot to really go over with Riel after, because it all just kind of goes into one big thing.
It does. I mean, all these stories are kind of like overlapping and whatnot. It's hard to like, you know, really do it together. But at the same time, I didn't want to like do it like episode by episode, because it's like, okay, I feel like we're just gonna be skipping around a lot into different stuff. But yeah, so we can talk about Vincent, and he had a day and a half. He's been off killing people and destroying the world and all that stuff, and then he meets himself on top of a tower. And we kind of, it's almost like Chibs, you and me almost kind of got what each of us was saying was kind of going to happen. I was saying, like, oh, he's going to realize he's Proxy 1. You're like, no, we're going to meet Proxy 1. And we kind of, like, got that halfway point.
Well, I think
Yeah,
the
right.
thing
He is Proxy
like,
1, but he just met himself.
the thing is, it's like he split off from himself.
Yeah.
Vincent is, like, basically his clone. An imperfect clone.
Yeah, so Vincent's sort of the Riel to Monad.
Uh-huh.
But still, I would still count him as Proxy 1. Because they say, we are Proxy 1. Or whatever. So... I'm gonna still count... I'm gonna kind of count us both as right.
Yee. But, yeah, that was just... Ooh,
Yeah.
boy.
So we find out... Well, we kind of already knew what the purpose of the proxies were, but we kind of got a little bit more of an elaboration. Again, my favorite episode was Q, and he kind of spilled the beans. Like, yeah, bunch of humans blew up the place, so they built a spaceship to go away. But they were like, "We'll leave some people behind to try to do that because we can't take everyone." And they were like, yeah, we need people to watch out for them, so they built proxies to be gods. Excuse me. Blah, blah, blah. But then what do you do whenever the world's saved? What do you do with those proxies? And they were meant to die and just go away after everything got better. And
Well, that's the thing. It's like they're not meant to live in the sun. So once the sun comes back out, their reason for living is nothing.
Yeah, and I think that was a smart thing on the side of the people who came before who built them, because it's like, okay, we're building these all-powerful beings to rule over us and keep us protected. Well, what about when we're able to protect ourselves again? Well, let's build in a failsafe to kill them all off.
Now, my only question is, who is the creator that they're referring to?
I don't think they have a name.
Like the all-encompassing creator.
I think that was kind of what they were going for, was like, I think the proxies are less gods and more of angels in the whole design of thing. Mm-hmm. But I still, like, according to Q and all that, the proxy program, it was all created by humans.
Right.
Humans created the gods to rule over them. Mm-hmm. Which could be a commentary about society, I suppose.
Now, I have another
Depending on
question.
because there's a lot of nihilism and God is dead kind of stuff in here, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was part of it.
Now, I have another question. The whole thing is like, if all of the humans, as we've been talking about before, if, like, they're all raised in the vats, if they're all basically considered clones of previous people, then why are they considered imperfect? Like, Ergo Proxy's people from Ramdo, they're all considered imperfect.
I mean...
So, I'm like...
Obviously, cloning is a thing. We've seen it in here. Mm-hmm. That being said... I was just kind of going off on, like, a theory thing then. I don't know for sure, and I don't think they said whether everyone was just a clone of everyone else.
Like, my whole thing is like, has procreation still been going on inside the dome?
Well, I think it's possible.
Question.
I don't think you can 100% police that kind of thing. But, like, even if it was, like, you know, you could still say the majority of people were grown in the vats. Mm-hmm. I think if they're advanced enough that they could do what they do, I'm sure they could mix people's DNA like test tube babies. There's plenty of times where, like, even today we have stuff like that where you can like do a surrogate, or like you buy an egg from someone, or semen or whatever.
Sperm donations.
Yes, donation type stuff, and then it's just grown. Instead of being grown in a surrogate, you're grown in a robotic surrogate. So it's still fully possible that there is, you know, that like Raoul and his wife, that was actually their kid. It wasn't just a clone of someone else that used to be. I mean, I was just kind of speculating because I kind of thought, like, that's kind of an interesting idea. The whole cyclical thing. But, like, I think we also ruled out my theory of Daedalus being a clone of Grandpa. So we can throw that out as well.
Right.
I've been wrong about plenty going on to this series, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the humans, I guess, created the proxies, and then the proxies made more humans because that was their whole purpose. And then they were supposed to die whenever their purpose was fulfilled, and I think I was hearing something from Ergo Proxy, and he was like, so then why would we want to fulfill our purpose? Because then we're just gonna die and become phantoms of an old world.
Yeah.
So, like... And it kind of reminds me a bit of... Did you guys watch Gurren Lagann?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's kind of a similar thing there. There was like if a certain number of people exist on the planet, then bad things are going to happen. So that's part of the reason everyone was like living underground in shitty circumstances for a very long time, because they're like, yeah, we want people to survive, but we don't want them to thrive to the point where we're all going to get killed. And I think that's kind of what Ergo Proxy was kind of going for. Is like, yeah, no, deep down, we have to help the humans and do whatever we can for them and blah, 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 because we need to do it. It's our whole purpose, and we can't stop ourselves from doing it. But at the same time, we don't have to help them that much to the point where they don't need us anymore. Maybe they do need to be culled a little bit and killed off. And extinction event type stuff. I think he only was like doing the whole, let's just kill them all off, because it was like, we're going to die anyway, because we can't survive in the sun. But...
Well,
yeah, a lot of nihilism going around.
Well, and then even just like when they were discussing like the destruction, and it was going through like all of the stuff, like just the little clips, flashbacky things.
Yeah.
And like it showed the Rapture missile getting launched.
Yes.
So I'm like, ooh, were you to do with that, or what was going on?
I still think that was Raoul, because he was just trying to cause some trouble. But yeah, I'm sure everything in that dome had to do with Ergo Proxy.
Or Proxy One.
Proxy One, Ergo Proxy, they're the same person. But I think we now have the reason why he decided to abandon everyone. Like, if I keep helping you, you're not going to need me anymore. So I'm going to go away for a very long time, go hang out with my girlfriend, and I'm going to wait for you guys to, like, fall apart. Then maybe you'll need me again.
Mm-hmm. But then they were like, revenge! We're going to sack your girlfriend's city.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck you. You all die. But not everybody died. Didn't really explain much in regard to the Cogito virus later in at the end, which was also a contingency plan. I was speculating like that they were to run other stuff as well, but I mean, I guess I don't know. Did they mention stuff like that, or did I just miss that?
It was like right sort of at the end, not having really to do with the Cogito virus, but having to do with the autoraves themselves, like what their purpose for being there was for.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember exactly what was said, Gav? I'm drawing a blank.
There was a lot going on. I'm surprised I'm surprised we're not drawing more blanks.
Oh.
This was a very heavily packed 2 episodes. Like, I was watching it, and I kept like thinking like, holy crap, this episode has to be almost over. They've done so much already. And it's like, oh, then it would say Ergo Proxy. Oh, that's the halfway point. Oh, jeez, we got more.
Uh-huh.
I'm not complaining. It was great.
Uh-huh.
But
Kitty. Come sit with Mama.
Yeah. Oh god, I feel like there's more that I should be saying about stuff. Other things that happened.
Gav?
I mean, there's the whole thing with like discussing what actually happened at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can get there. The dome fell completely. The sky opened up, and ships started coming down because humans came back. It's the end of WALL-E now, except there are like there's some people who are very powerful still on Earth. Here's a question for you though: even though he is a proxy, he's like a clone proxy, or he's like a split off version of a proxy. Do you think that Vincent's going to survive in the sunlight?
Well, the thing is he's gone back to being human. That's the thing. So, I feel as long as he's maintaining his humanity, because he's imperfect, as far as being a clone of a proxy is concerned, that I feel like he's going to be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, same with Riel. I've got a feeling the sunlight's not going to affect her either.
Yeah, but she never, like, manifested real proxy power.
True, but that doesn't mean that she isn't still partially a proxy.
I guess so.
So.
But yeah, so they take off on the rabbit with Pino and Christiva.
Yeah. Well, we didn't see Vincent take off with them. He's just like, they were coming around to pick him up, and he's just like looking up like, spaceships are coming down. Humanity has returned to Earth. I am Ergo Proxy, agent of death.
He's like, I'm still gonna kill them.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, okay.
Are you about to just kill everyone who's about to show up on Earth? This is going to be a very dark ending to WALL-E. I really want it to be the ending of WALL-E, and then suddenly, like, Ergo Proxy just walks up as soon as all the fat people come off the ramp.
Oh, no.
Like, that's gonna change the movie a lot.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
I'm reminded again of, like, Trigun. Mm-hmm. With the whole leaving the planet to either colonize or do some other stuff. And I kind of like it. And you're returning to kind of a wasteland sort of thing and have to make your way through it. I almost kind of want this to be a prequel to Trigun a little bit. Because if Vash and his brother were proxies, I'd be like, okay, this explains it a little bit more. Like, how they're able to do what they do. Because it might have just been a while since I've watched it. I don't remember them explaining that much in that show.
I don't know.
Like,
I've never seen it.
I'll say this. I was satisfied with the explanations that we got for the questions that were brought up, so I'm happy. I'm happier with this ending than I was with the Trigun ending. So
Well, that's good.
yeah.
I mean, it's better than some anime, and I'm not saying it's better than anime that do this, but it's like, it's better to provide me with more answers than questions, rather
I'm fine
than
with a few
leave
questions
me
at the
with
end,
a
but,
lot of questions.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't mind those sorts of anime because it, like, makes me really think. But if it was, like, an Ava kind of ending, I might have been like, oh, no. Not the clapping again. Just
oh, that ending.
just
Not the movie end.
No.
Okay. I didn't particularly love either. Yeah, no. I was worried about this going into this as well. I'm pretty sure I said in an earlier one of these that I was like, okay, this is a really solid start. I'm really worried they're gonna trip up on the finish line, and I don't think they did.
No.
I think it was good. I'm happy. I'm pretty satisfied. I feel like any questions that I really needed answered were answered, and anything else that was kind of like, oh, I don't know about this, but it's kind of an interesting element to the world and like could be left up to interpretation, I think is left up to interpretation, and it's kind of I'm kind of fine with that, because I don't want every little detail explained to me, because then it kind of like I think something is lost whenever you do that a little bit. But I think we got enough that it was satisfying. Gav, what are your thoughts on the ending?
I mean, I liked it. You know, I kind of thought it was funny because I was watching it with my brother, and he was like, "Oh man, I want there to be another season," and I was like,
do, and I don't.
I feel like it's fine where it left off.
It's like, it's a really good spot where it ended, and like, it's kind of open-ended in that you know the story continues, but it's like one of those...
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those... Anything I come up with in my head is going to be so much better than anything that will actually happen, just because of like the mystery. Like, the unknown is so much more... It's the Pulp Fiction suitcase. If we actually knew what was in it, it would not be interesting to us anymore.
Yeah.
Which is sad. And I know I just, like, mentioned, like, oh, I want this to be, like, this turns into Trigun later, and then blah, blah, blah. So, like, hey, you should watch... If you want to look at it like that, watch Trigun. You can kind of see... It's a good series. It's a good series. I don't think it ends as satisfying as this, but, you know, if the answer's in this, you can somehow translate to the answers to that, maybe it's a much more satisfying conclusion. I don't know. So it's your call. Though I think they have specifically said in Trigun that it is not Earth that they are on. So, this can't be that.
I'll tell my
But,
brother. I'll be like,
yeah.
hey, watch Trigun.
Yeah. Watch it with him. It'll be fun. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's a good show. We could watch that at some point in the future, because like I think I've seen it. Has anyone else here seen it?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Put that on the list at some point. We probably should talk at some point about like what we are going to be watching next.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So next week, because this is coming out on the 5th, we are going to be at a convention, TekoShiCon in Pittsburgh. We're not like running a OutbackAl panel or anything. We're just going, and they're showing a movie on Thursday night, the 11th. I want to say that it is, The Night Is Short, Walk On Girl, and I think it's from like the director of Tatami Galaxy and some other anime like that. So it's about a girl who gets like a romance adventure ensemble. It's I don't know everything about it. I just know it's like about this one night that a whole bunch of people went out drinking, crazy hijinks. It's not like The Hangover, I'm assuming, but it's supposed to be pretty good. And they're showing that Thursday night. We're all going to record another episode of this like right after we see it, and then it'll come out on the 12th on that Friday. The next Friday from this episode. Because we thought it'd be fun to like do a series then do a movie, which we might do going forward. Like just do series movie, kind of break things up, make things a little more interesting. Because like not everybody has the time to watch a whole bunch of stuff, and like sometimes it's like especially like we kind of lost Yin early on, because they didn't have enough time, and they were like no, oh, if you do movies I can get time for a movie. So, and then after that, starting on what's after the 19th, Friday the 19th of April, we're gonna start back with a series, and we're gonna watch the first 3 episodes of Devilman Crybaby, which is on Netflix. I'm sure you could find it in other places if you don't have Netflix, but yeah, so that's a 10-episode series where we're just gonna watch like 3, and then 4. That should end us like sometime early May, I think. And then we'll move on to we'll decide what we're watching after that. Yeah. Guys, any other thoughts on that stuff or on this series? I think we can put a resounding yay for this series.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
So
Hi.
it's good. We would recommend this show to people.
Yeah.
It has the OutbackAl seal of approval.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Quick thing about the upcoming episodes with the movie and Devilman Crybaby. There probably won't be video footage involved with those ones. I might just switch to like just doing basic picture stuff. Partially for like copyright reasons, and partially just because like I don't know. This is just really an audio kind of thing that we've been doing. I don't know that we need a ton of visuals with it. If people like it, great. But I might just like not do it as much going forward because it'll just save me some editing time, which I need. Yeah. I'll try to include like certain pictures and stuff. Like I like whenever we're like talking about specific things, I'll try to include a picture. But yeah. Anything else we talk about? We should also, Gav. Should we mention the other thing? What's up, Chib?
I was going to say that other thing.
Oh, you want to say that?
Okay.
Okay, you take the other thing then.
I know. I was just going to say mention the other thing. Not that I was going to say it.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm
all right.
not
Gav,
good
take
at
it away.
these things.
Gav, take it away.
All right.
Do it.
Well, we're doing an AMA Q&A type deal, early May, and so we created a telonym at the OutbackAl and Friends.
Link in the description below.
And yes, and you can leave anonymous tells or asks or whatever you want to send us, and we might answer you back. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, probably. Who knows? But yeah, we'll do that early May, and you're probably gonna if you watch a lot of our videos, you're gonna be hearing about that all this month. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Do we have anything else to say? about Ergo Proxy, about
Just watch it.
any
Just
other
go
thing. Yeah,
watch it.
watch Ergo
If
Proxy.
you-
It's a good show.
but,
If you haven't,
I
I don't.
mean-
We pretty much spoiled the whole show for you at this point.
Yeah.
So
if you haven't watched it while we've been watching it, then
Yeah.
I mean,
you can go back and watch it.
And why
I
are
might
you
go back and
listening to
watch
this
it at some point.
podcast?
but
I mean, unless
Yeah,
you just
Ergo
wanted it summarized for you.
That's
In
possible.
which case, cool.
Good for you. Now go watch it. It's better than we're explaining it.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
we're probably not doing it justice by explaining it.
No, definitely not. All right. Any other thoughts, comments, concerns?
Nope.
No.
No.
All right. All right. Well, we will be back with more anime, yay or nay, for you next week. Anyone watching or anyone who wants to watch the movie. I'm gonna look up the actual name of it real quick, just so I want to make sure that I have it right.
Okay.
Yeah, The Night is Short. Walk On, Girl.
Okay.
So watch that for next week, and 2 weeks from now, get the first 3 episodes of Devilman Crybaby,
Woohoo!
Yeah.
and we'll be discussing that then. Alrighty,
Yes.
bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.